Welcome back to Lynxx 24. I'm Steve Peterson, and before we get to our interview, we'd like to thank the Toma Cash Store for putting together this pretty nice looking set that we're able to sit at. We want to thank them for those furnishings, as well as K&B Flooring in Toma for the set flooring. So big thank you to both the Toma Cash Store and also K&B Flooring in Toma. Right now, it's kind of different because I'm interviewing somebody that I've gotten to know pretty good over the last few months, but I finally get to meet him in person, and we have to take time to talk about this gentleman because it's an unbelievable story, and his name is Albert Schmiege, and Albert is from Boston. And Albert, first of all, thanks for joining us today.
Well, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Now, I personally know a lot about your artwork, but before we show some of the beautiful things that you do, let's talk about your career, because your career is a whole lot different than what a normal artist would have, because you are a legally blind artist. But it isn't something that you were born with. You've lost your sight over the years. But let's go back and tell our viewers the story behind your career.
Well, I basically was diagnosed in 1985 with Stargardt's macular degeneration. By 92, it pretty much took my central vision, and I could no longer drive and considered legally blind. I have peripheral vision and was painting starting full-time in 2005, 2006. And from there, one thing has led to another, and I'm here with you today.
Well, you know, a lot of people, when they've been a painter and an artist and they've had their eyesight, that's one thing. But then to slowly lose the gift of sight, which is so important when you're doing your kind of work, what made you want to stay with it and still continue to do the beautiful arts that you do when you knew that your sight was going?
Well, it was something that I had a release from, something that I've been passionate about, and even without the visual acuity, was still able to create, provide things that people liked, and it was an outlet for me to, regain some self-esteem after being able, or after losing the ability to drive. There was a lot of things that fell into place because of the art, as far as being social, as far as meeting other blind artists or visually impaired artists and how they did it, different things that they worked with, everything from sculpture to tactiles, and I like working with the oils.
And you do a variety of things. You do landscapes, you do abstract, you do florals. How do you, when you don't have the eyesight that you need, are able to take that vision in your head and actually put it down on canvas?
Well, a lot of what I do is I try and visualize in the beginning, what it is that I want to accomplish. Sometimes it comes from a photograph that I see under adaptive equipment, and then I take it and trying to put it into my own terms. The main thing is that I do is I paint in quadrants. So to see what's in front of me, I have to turn to the left or to the right and, try and keep the perspective, from that point on.
So how long does it take for you to do a canvas?
Well, it depends. An average landscape could take anywhere from 2 weeks to 3 months. An abstract might take a little bit less than that, but it depends on how much detail is in it and how many different techniques I use to accomplish that.
And what amazes me is you're able to do multiple arts or canvas painting at the same time. That seems hard to do.
Yeah, I'm very eclectic when it comes to that, I guess. I can start 2, 3. I've had as many as 7 paintings going at one time and just keep rotating. When I get bored or to a point of completion with one, I'll switch on to the next one and then go back to the first one after I make the rounds and continue where I left off.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing some of your artwork, and we're going to do that. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, Albert and I will not talk about the art. We're going to show you his art right after this.
Oh, man. I can't wait to be done with this. I wonder if I'm going to get all these tree roots out of here. Wait, was I supposed to call Digger's hotline? Nah, I'm not digging that deep. But something's getting power, water, and gas to the house. Nah, I'm sure if I drive this pick into an underground line, I'm...
Quiznos Homefront Travel Mart. We're local, in your neighborhood, with great customer service, fresh ingredients, and toasted to perfection. We do catering, lunchboxes, and office parties. Mmm, toasty. Quiznos Homefront Travel Mart, Camp Douglas.
Welcome back, everyone. And if you are just joining us today on Lynxx 24, our guest today is Albert Schmiege with Blind Guy Studios in Boston. And Albert, we talked about how you do your art. Now we're going to show some of this beautiful work that you do. The picture that I got up here right now is this beautiful, kind of like a moon setting with the beautiful lake and the stream, and a real colorful. It really jumps out at you.
Yeah, well, and that's another thing. I'm partially colorblind, so I have to keep the colors of my palette in a special order so I don't get them mixed up. Otherwise, I wind up having happy accidents like purple trees. And, so,
well, you did very good on this one. Let's talk about the sailboat picture, because you took that beautiful yellow sky and the reflection on the water is just unbelievable.
Yeah, and trying the different contrasts and the boldness of the colors is what helps me keep it, as to where I put the shadows and stuff like that. So.
Well, the next one I'm going to put up there, and we'll hear the oohs from the viewers, because you've got puppies, and you can't go wrong with puppies on a canvas.
Everybody likes the puppies, so.
And the detail is just unbelievable, and the colors just stand out so much. This one you've got to explain a little bit, because you've got trolls dressed up for a wedding. I know there's a story behind that one.
Well, my father-in-law had given me and my wife a set of trolls, a little statue, and that's my interpretation of the statue. That's not me and her, really. So.
Now we've got one. I know this is one that was that you sold in Chicago last year. I understand.
Yes, that's a print of an original that's sold at the show that I'm going to be at here on May 9th in downtown Chicago. It's the Passionate Focus Second Sense show. It'll be at the Hilton Palmer House, and that painting actually was on display for 6 hours and sold last year. So this year I'm going to be able to go down and participate in person.
Well, let's talk about the show a little bit, because you've really been kind of almost an ambassador for the people that have disabilities that are very involved with the arts.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. There's a lot of people that get involved with this. This show got my name from another show, an international art show for the blind that I attended in 2011 in Fullerton, California. And this show is relatively new to me, so I'm looking forward to being there, meeting with the other artists, and trying to network and promote my website.
Oh, great. And we want to show there's some trivets that you can get off the website, and they're recreations of some of the artwork that Albert has done. And also you can get a tote bag, and once again we'll get the oohs and the ahs, because you put puppies and cats together. But also, if you love wines, this is another really beautiful print that's on a tote bag. And you can get all these items and some of the canvases that are actually for sale on Albert's website at blindguystudios.com, and great website to look at. Your artwork is unbelievable on there.
Well, thank you. And I also do commissions. I'm relatively easy to get a hold of, and you can get a hold of me through my email, or my contact information is available on the website.
All right. So. Thank you, Albert, for joining me.
Well, thank you for having me here.
All right. Albert Schmiege from Boston. blindguystudios.com is the website. You've got to go and see his work, and it'd look great in your wall at home. Stay tuned, and I'll be back with more with Marketing Sense coming up on Lynxx 24 News. Welcome back to Lynxx 24 News, and this is Marketing Sense. And I've been asked many times by businesses if they should even have a website, because they're a small business and they don't really sell products or services, so maybe I don't even need to have a website. My answer, yes, 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 you have to have a website. If you have a business, you should have a website, period. No question. without any doubt, get yourself a website. And also, don't go so quick to dismiss that your project can't be sold on the website, because there's very little that can't be sold over the internet. Do you know that more than 20 million shoppers are now online purchasing everything from books to computers to cars to real estate to artwork to jet airplanes? Everybody has something to sell online. You might be surprised that you could come up with something of your product that you'll be able to sell online. Let me clarify one point. I'm not saying you should put all your efforts into selling your products on the internet. Though if your product lends itself to be easily sold online, you should certainly be considering it. So the point is to be made here is that you should be at the very least having a presence on the web, so the customers, potentially employees, business partners, maybe even investors, can quickly and easily find out more about your business and the products or services that you have to offer. That said, it's not enough that you just have a website, but you must have a professional looking site if you want to be taken seriously. Since many consumers now search for information online prior to making a purchase at a brick and mortar store, your site may be the first chance you have at making a good impression on a potential buyer. And if your site looks like it was designed by a click and go fill in the blank website designer, your chances at making a good first impression will be lost. And one of the great things about the internet is that it has leveled the playing field when it comes to competing with the big boys. And as mentioned, you only have one shot at making a good first impression. And with a well-designed website, that little operation that you think you have can have the projection of being a very big and successful one. But it's all because of the professional website you have to have. If a larger company struggles with their website, that's good news for you, but you can't cut corners when it comes to your website design. Albert Schmiege is a prime example of that. Not only did I design his website, but you found out, Albert, how bad it can be for your business when you have a website that's not working, right?
That's very true, Steve. And like you say, first impressions and, me trying to get commission work and getting my product out there, it's going to be invaluable in the future for what it is that I'm doing. Being visually impaired, people coming to me is going to work a lot better than me trying to get out there.
Now, when we worked together on the website, of course, it was fun doing it because I was able to use your artwork as basically my canvas for designing this website. But you also were very concerned that you wanted it to be very easy for people to get on there and find things and maneuver around without getting lost.
Right. And, again, hopefully a lot of people with adaptive equipment, such as myself, can get on the site and easily navigate it and see what I'm about and see what my artwork's about and hopefully sell a few things in the process.
Well, one thing that we did with your site was we made it very easy to go on, but it also simplified it to the point that anybody can see your stuff. They can buy your product online, very stress-free, and the website is a mirrored image of what you are all about.
Well, and that's thanks to you and, my artwork. But it's so easy a blind guy can use it. So
I might use that.
there you go.
Well, Albert, I thank you for letting me do blindguystudio.com. It's a website that I love, and I use it a lot in a lot of my presentations, and I'm glad you're happy with it because you're right. First impressions is key, and Albert is a perfect example of what that's all about. Now, if you have questions or concerns about your website design or marketing in general, contact me at 608-769-9910, or you can email me at steve@topdogmktg.com, or you can go to my website at www.topdogmktg.com, and you'll be able to see Albert's site and a few of the other sites that I've done as well. Remember, you have to have a professional-looking website, and marketing is not rocket science. It's just good marketing sense. And we'll be back to wrap things up on Lynxx 24 right after this.